Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing better than me. Feeling pretty sad today. Somehow getting drunk really sucked. I just wanted to hang out. If anyone wants to hang out, you can just, listen to me talk for a bit. And I was looking for someone to comfort me earlier. I started watching this guy named Controlling the Narrative. It was just a voice of reason or someone who I could trust. I'm not sure he trusts me, but I trust him. I sent him an email a long time ago. He was suspicious of my name Bubs, as if it was a satanic reference. Beelzebub. I watched his video. It's called Controlling the Narrative. He's pretty awesome. He got beat up by the cops on camera. But I got drunk last night. Felt really, really bad. I had watched it back this morning a bit, and I was feeling kind of embarrassed of myself. While I was drunk, I was saying, you're too confident right now, right? And I said, yeah, I know. But I was listening to this Controlling the Narrative guy, trying to fall asleep to his voice. My crazy Cash brother who got gang raped when he was 19 by police and priests in Pakistan used to fall asleep to my dad's voice, as I did too. And of course, the best person to fall asleep to is Osho. And this morning I just thought, I need anyone who I can trust. I don't trust anyone. It's a sad world when you don't trust anyone. Especially when you don't trust yourself. And I was so hungover I couldn't even fall asleep. I didn't even remember going to bed. I didn't even remember throwing up. I saw it on the video. My mom was helping me throw up. And I had no recollection of that. But it sounded kind of familiar. But then she took me to the couch, and then I woke up on the couch. And I thought, how did I get here? And I still got some beers left, but I don't want to drink them. That was really painful last night. But it changed my opinions on things. I feel like I got raped with guy's cum and guy's asshole. I feel like, and guy's armpits. And I got duped, and it was all a trick. And I'm just getting tortured from everywhere. I know that sounds really negative. I'm sorry to be really negative over here. But when I looked out the window, all I could see is gang stalkers who want to harm me. Okay, I'm not trying to be negative here. I know that many gang stalkers are forced into it and forced to harm me. And at the end of the day, I'm still being harmed and I'm still alone. And I thought I should just die. And it goes to, I also can't trust myself. Well, why not? What about yourself? Do you think you're evil, or do you think that you're gonna suddenly throw stew in the garbage? No, I got a good head on my shoulders. I'm a good lovely person. I'm a wonderful person. And the thing I can't trust about myself, though, is my strength. That I'm so weak. That I just keep going back to the bad habits that destroy me. And when I try to quit, it seems like I'm doing it for nothing. And it's really sad. And I was just feeling like, I hope, if this sounds really sick as well, and I don't wish this on anyone, but I hope that you've been, this sounds really sick, okay, don't misunderstand me here. If you're listening, I hope that you've been severely abused. Because there's no one else I want to talk to than people who have been severely abused. I hope that you've considered suicide. I hope you've thought of methods. I hope you've done self-harm. I hope you've felt like not a single person in the world is there for you. Because that's the only kind of people I want to talk to. I only want to talk to someone like that who doesn't have anyone. Because that's how I feel. Now, that being said, I have good relationships with people. That's true. I know that when I go to the bike center, I know I'll get along with people. I know I know the good people, I could get along with good people. Sometimes I feel like those people are not really truly victims, and they don't really understand me. And the people who are really fucked up won't be in those places, and they're kind of isolated. And through these YouTube videos might be the only way I can talk to those people. And I wish I could have a place for all those people. But maybe those people are crackheads or on meth or like something. I don't know. But maybe not. I hope that there's people who have been through parallel things to what I've been through and who are in parallel situations, who are healing, but questioning whether healing is worth it, whether there's a future worth having. And so I'm really tired. I laughed. I said, you got pants cum raped. Isn't it funny? I laughed. I said, yeah, who gives a shit? You got fucking asshole raped. You got asshole raped by a guy. I thought, isn't it funny? I laughed. I said, it's actually traumatizing. You don't really care because you're so traumatized that nothing matters. But it's actually traumatizing. And when you were doing your water fast, you were doing pretty well. I mean, look what happened after you did your water fast. You started leaving the house again. It's a big deal for you. To even go outside is a big deal. And now look, you're going all over the neighborhood. You're getting threatened. You may have been being threatened yesterday. You may have been being threatened to be killed and raped. You don't want to go through that. Yeah, no, you don't want to go through that. So again, when I was Shaniqua, I was reading all these stats that a lot of black people have zero trust in the law. Well, I don't know if it's the law. I don't know who it is. It's the mafia. The law doesn't exist. But I was thinking about it, how it's all the human trafficking, all the drug trafficking which goes in with sex slavery. It's all done by the authorities. The mafia, organized crime, authority, it's all the same thing. People tweaking out, and they exploit people's humanitarianism. They say we're doing this to help people. And everyone is involved. Well, yeah, pretty negative. I don't think anyone would want to fall asleep to my voice. I guess I'm just trying to be of service somehow, because I don't feel very important. So I would really like that I'm appreciated by people. But in the end, when I talk to the camera, I end up just sounding drowsy. Maybe I'm still a bit drunk. No, I don't think I'm not going to self-harm if anyone thinks that. Again, I would only do it through medical assisted suicide or through Switzerland, which cost $8,000. And again, as I've always said, I need to do 2 or 3 years of sobriety first. It just seems like all that work for nothing. Anyway, I'm gonna drink something. You have to drink something, I think, when you're hungover. Like more beer. Oh, the carbonation in these bubblies made me sick. It reminded me of more beer. Fuck you, Stu. Oh. But maybe my complete failure and my misery and my destruction is helpful for people. For people who are also going through it. I'm sure there's a lot of people who enjoy watching it for fun and entertainment. Like a coliseum feeding the slave girls 2 lions or something, or watching people get killed by elephants. But maybe there's people who are just needing to see someone fucked up. In which case I'm happy that I can do that. I kept thinking of my friends who are gang stalkers and how they would feel when they're 60 years old and I had been dead for a long time, and how their life would be, and if they would ever have a moment of questioning. The value or something. Questioning how good they're doing. How good the world is. I thought if the world is all fucked up and everything sucks, if they would ever consider their own involvement that they created the world this way. Getting drunk, I knew my perspectives would change a bit. I'm doing much better than I used to. I'm not sure I've ever gotten back to the same as I was. Perhaps I never will. But you think, well, you're never the same even once. You can't step into the same river twice, but you can't step into the same river once because it's always changing. And so don't expect that you're going to be back how you were when you were a kid or when you were whatever time period in your life that you were doing well. And they say, you think you were happy when you were a kid, but you actually weren't. You were miserable too. But as far as having nostalgia or wanting to get back to a certain place, like rewinding time, I think it is possible, because it's not that I'm trying to have the same psychology. The bell can't be unrung. Everything that happens moves forward. But my state of consciousness either goes up or down. And that's the part I'm talking about. That can I become as conscious, as meditative as I was back then? And back then I was getting more and more conscious. I think. This part of me says, are you sure about that? Are you sure you just weren't getting more and more healthy? Well, I was certainly getting more and more healthy. And that took a lot of change. I mean, it's not easy being sober. Well, then getting more and more sober is also not easy. And so you have to do like self-work to be able to live with yourself without anesthetizing and sedating yourself. You have to be able to live with yourself if you don't want to be drunk. When you're drunk, you're unconscious. You don't really have to live with yourself. Oh, I really don't like drinking. Oh man, it was really bad. I was like overly confident. I had a lot of fun though. I felt really present. I felt like extremely present. But then I started wanting to throw up, and now I still feel like throwing up. I don't like this at all. I wanted to listen to Osho or find the right song, and nothing's helping. I think I'm just doing the processing now. Oh, it's sad. Maybe I'm talking to no one. But you know, there's a lot of people who exist who I would talk to if I could. I mean, look at all the drug trafficking. You know that there's sex slaves because of that. They don't have a voice. They're having sex with people who they don't like. They're getting raped all the time. I was watching my video last night. I was like, you're really beautiful. I was like, you know you're a sex slave, right? You're being sex trafficked by organized crime. You know that, right? I was like, yeah. Yeah, it's really embedded. It's really hidden in plain. Evil has to hide in plain sight to get consent from the people. Well, that's what Aleister Crowley says. But some people would just call that a humiliation ritual. To say, look, there's nothing you could do about it. We're just demoralizing you. But I don't like drinking this bubbly. It just reminds me of beer. It makes me sick. I feel like having a shower. I wish I could sleep so bad. I'm just too hungover. But it's weird how all the people who harm people are have a public image of helping people. Like every single one of them. They pose as do-gooders. It would be funny if it wasn't so fucked. So at least, I want to help people too. But I'm not going to pose as a do-gooder or be a do-gooder. The way I can help is by not trying to help. The way I would like to help whoever might need my help is by saying, I will never try to help you because I'm not qualified to do that. I can just be your friend. I can just show you all my pain and just cry. Or if I'm lucky, I was lucky to cry the other day. I thought, thank God you can cry. And then maybe I can be entertaining. Maybe then I can be and I don't just want to help people too. I mean, what kind of friendship is that? Where I'm just at your service. But maybe that is what friendship is. Because then by me helping you, you're helping me as well. And you're helping me not by being a do-gooder, but just by watching. You're also not trying to say, you ought to do this, and you should go to therapy, and you should take medication, and you should try positive thinking, and you should really get to the root of what's bothering you, and let's do some change work. You're just giving me your love and your attention, and that's the only thing that I really want. And that's the only thing I can really give to you. And it's really sad and kind of lonely that it's so indirect through the camera here. But at least it's something. It's the closest I can come to being a human with human connections. And then, there's people I talk to in real life too. And, I have a good relationship with my family. I can't talk to them about gang stalking or being raped or being abused or being threatened. And, that's some of these difficult things, and that's kind of sad. But, I couldn't go to a therapist or a sexual assault help center to get therapy or something. Because they would just sexually assault me. And so, you think how many victims are aware of this? You say, like, a huge percentage of rape victims don't go to the police. Well, they probably know that the police are protecting the rapist. The police are paying the rapist. And no offense to the police, the CSIS pays the police, and then the Mossad pays CSIS, and then the Rothschilds pay Mossad, and up the ladder it goes. Okay, for all I know, the police are helping me. For all I know, they're not. I really don't know. My suspicion is there are different factions. So I really don't know. But it doesn't matter. I really only care about people who are my friends. Whatever role they're in, it doesn't matter. But I feel really sad. Why do I feel so sad? Well, I feel like I'm going to be sexless forever. Now, is it really just about sex? Yeah, it seems it. Sometimes I think not really. It's deeper. It starts with sex, of course. But it goes deeper than that. You want the connection. You want to feel loved and intimate. You don't just want familial relationships. You want romance too. And you feel like you're never going to get it. You're never going to get intimacy and trust with anyone. And it's sad, isn't it? If it wasn't for that, you'd feel pretty awesome. You'd feel pretty irrelevant. You're being a TI. It would be irrelevant. But, I'm not just talking to TIs either. I'm not just saying you gotta be a TI. One of my friends who's a gang stalker, he's been tortured a lot. They put him through the mental ward, they give him injections, they force him to take meds. He's my best friend. He's a gang stalker. It was him I was imagining when he was 60 at a bar on a patio looking out into the night, thinking of me as I'm dead and thinking about his involvement in my life. And I was wondering if he would feel like he had created the fucked up world. A lot of times when I would be hanging out with him, he would talk about he lost his soul or he sold his soul. And I'm sure he had been gang stalked too. I've told him everything. Everything I've told you, I've told him. He understood. He said they did that to me too. And Marina understood too. She said that's what they do. Well, am I glad that I broke up with Marina? Yeah, I think so. She was extremely immature. She would never be mature in her entire life. Well, I gotta drink more bubbly. There are people I like. That's cool. Yeah, I don't really talk to them, but like Zeph, controlling the narrative. One Search. Ochu. Enoch the Freestyle Prince. I could go on. There's probably like 10 or 20 people who I think are really cool. There's a handful of people who care about me. All the people who care about me, except for one, I can't talk about anything personal. And that one is a guy. And then it's only you I can talk to. And it's really helpful to be able to, express myself freely. It feels like everything is so insane. Somehow if I talk about it, it's not so bad. And you know what the best Xbox game I ever played is? Need for Speed Heat. It's like the Xbox One game. I got it on sale. Once I drove the Porsche, it was so much faster than any other car. I just never used a different one. It was almost like cheating. It was really fun. It was really hard. I remember thinking like, wow, I could barely win. And then I basically finished the game, in my opinion, once the car was maxed out. But anyways, I can't imagine anyone would listen to this. This is just so boring. You see those people, they're huffing gasoline on the side of the road. And then you end up one yourself. Like that song, you said I'd wake up dead drunk, alone in the park. I called you a liar, but how right you were. Air-conditioned TV lit, 20 grand. I mean, eventually you become just a cliche. That's how I feel, at least. Just some boring old freak who nobody cares about, forgotten. And yet I thought I had so much love and light. I thought I was so colorful and beautiful. But I'm just discarded, I guess. Not even cared about. Well, I mean, I don't want to be gaslighting you here. If you're sitting here watching going, well, I'm enjoying you, and I'm going, and you just don't like me either, do you? And no one does. Okay, I don't want to be pulling your leg here. Maybe I'm just a little bit unconfident sometimes. And I try to preemptively criticize myself because I think that you might be criticizing me. And you might be thinking how boring I am and how terrible this video is. And I worry that the thing that you think is terrible about it is the way I feel. That I'm just apathetic and I'm dead inside and I'm not really saying anything. I'm just drifting. But that's how I feel, and it feels very mediocre. I'm just a drunk. Yeah. It's not funny, I don't mean to laugh. I'd probably be crying if I wasn't laughing. Laughing is sick. It's healthy. It's sickness leaving. Oh, I'm so tired though. I have to sleep. You know, I have a friend too, is the animals. Like all the animals. I love the animals. I'm Francis of Assisi. On the TV, there's a Honda dealership. Is it weird that I want you to watch me sleep? I just want to be loved. I know. We should probably talk. Well, I'm doing some inner work. I'm just trying not to feel like throwing up, but also to feel meditative. And it's such a vague word. There's a million different definitions of meditation. I'm just trying not to feel traumatized and enjoy the feeling of my body. Be soft and open and not tense and closed off anywhere. And then a shower might be really nice. Oh, falafel. Maybe I should have some breakfast. But I don't just want to sleep on the camera. I think this might be my real self, though. This version of me that's like wasted, and boring, and apathetic. This might be how I really am. That I completely don't care about being entertaining. Tyler talked about those people. He said he feels really bad for them, really bad for them. He compared them to, when someone begs you for money, but they don't wish you a nice day. Like, you know how if you say you don't have any money, they go, well, that's, have a good day anyway. Someone who's just like, we went to the Popeyes chicken place once, and this woman, she was really indifferent, and she just said, I need money. And we gave her $10 or something, like $10. And then she came back 5 minutes later and she said, I need more money. Like, she just said it like really bluntly, like, and you could tell she didn't really care about anyone's reaction. And Tyler said that when people get so apathetic that they just don't give a fuck, it's like really bad. And I've thought, maybe I'm like that woman. Like, I'm just totally apathetic. And anything that I had otherwise, saying that I was, I don't know, just considerate or caring, putting on a nice face, that was just motivated by wanting some kind of reward. Kind of like, I'll scratch your back, I'll be really loving to you so that you're really loving to me. And I'll do the whole show and I'll act like I'm gregarious and I'll put on a happy face so that I can give positive emotions, so I can help you by making you feel better. And then you'll give that back to me. And then just through failing so utterly, I mean, I try my best and I get raped with guys. I get guys raping me and threatening to kill me and saying you can't leave your house or you're gonna die. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm not even gonna try. Like, I'm not even gonna try to look like a cool guy. I'm not gonna wash my hair. I mean, I'll wash my hair, okay? It's not, you don't want to have greasy hair on the couch. I'm considerate in that sense. But I'm not gonna try to appeal or to, like, appease or impress. And then with that kind of goes my hope as well. And the hope is the only thing that's keeping me alive. And then I'm like, it's strange. I want to be of service. I want to help people just by my presence. 'Cause that makes me feel good. With no return address. With no, oh, give me something back for it. Feels better in a certain way. Asking for things isn't nice. I don't like it. And that's what I'm doing, really, when I'm trying to be cool and entertaining. Primping myself, peacocking myself. Maybe it's good. Maybe you're supposed to do it. I like wearing eyelid tape. I like looking good. And you say, well, I'm doing it for me. Yeah, right. Doing it for you is doing it for them. Maybe I'm just hopeless. Well, I could maybe fucking change my diet again. That'd be fun. I've been talking about that for 50 years. It's like my grandma, she always said she's cleaning her house. Do you want to go out? No, I'm cleaning the house. Do you want to go bowling? No, I'm cleaning the house. We say, how long is it taking you to clean the house? 20 years. It takes 20 years to clean your house. One of these days. And it was kind of a sad movie. Good Will Hunting. They don't say he lives happily ever after. They wouldn't lie to you like that. Maybe some people do. I don't know. Have you ever met a married person who doesn't feel alone? Or have you ever seen a married person who's not lonely? I mean, that's one thing I got, if I trust Osho. He said Lao Tzu never married. Osho never married. I think he had a lot of girlfriends, though. I had a lot of girlfriends. But only until I didn't like how they all treated me. And then I just said, never again, really. Sub-Zero treated me good. But I wasn't that attracted to her. But she was hot enough. Yeah, she treated me really well. But eventually I just gave up. I was like, it's too... Anytime I actually like one, or, I loved Sub-Zero. Anytime I love one who is extremely hot, it goes really bad. Well, Jess was extremely hot. It never went really bad with her. I fucked that up. And she was my first extremely hot girlfriend. And she was a gang stalker too. I saw her at the St. Jacob's Market a couple years ago. She was still extremely hot. She'll always be extremely hot. It was weird. After we texted, we had a kind of a fight. And then she showed up at the market. I wonder what that meant. She was with a girl. I bet you're a dyke. I miss being loved. Like she really loved me. Sometimes it's a bit of a mind fuck that when you have low self-esteem, if someone treats you good, you don't appreciate them. And then you have to get older, or more realistically, you have to get experience with people who don't treat you good. And then you say, oh my God, the person who treated me good was actually good. That was actually what I wanted. I mean, I look back on Jess and I think I completely cheated her. Maybe she only liked me because of that, but she, I don't know. But certainly I got my karma. Finally I realized what it's like. She told me, "You're always mean to me." I was like, "No, I wasn't." Well, I still don't think I was mean to her. I think the way I cheated her was I was just in love with Chelsea and I never told her. This is my favorite song. I don't even like it anymore. It doesn't even feel magical anymore. I miss being high. I should water fast again. I felt really good on water fasting. I felt extremely sober. But the big problem with water fasting was I was doing it for some kind of payoff. You're going to get really hot. You're going to get a girlfriend. Just the idea of doing it for myself, I've never really been able to do that. I'm only ever living for hope. Really. They say, I don't know if it was Nietzsche or, I don't really care what they say too much anyways. But it was one of the better ones. And they said, take away a man's hope and you'll go insane. And Osho said the same thing, that hope is not good, but for the ordinary person, all they have is hope. And I think that's how I got so enlightened or spiritual when Chelsea was with me, because I was terrified of her. And I had no hope. And my hope just was the only thing keeping me going. And so it was like peeling off my skin to get rid of my hope. It was extremely excruciating. But then once it was gone, I felt like I was as light as a feather. I felt different. I thought, oh, I've died and went to heaven. What a funny surprise. I never would have expected this. This song is so good. I don't think I have any energy right now. I think I'm spiritually dead. Pretty sure I'm dead inside. I mean, later on I'll know, because I never know until later. Once I get my chakras activated, and then I say, oh, you were dead inside earlier. You didn't even know it. This song is good too. The guy says, I love you. It always reminded me of me in a really bad way. I feel like I got so much emotions that are repressed. I feel my face contorting sometimes, like I'm about to start crying. And then the feeling just bypasses. Like my lips are about to curl. And everything else that I'm doing in place of that is some kind of hypocrisy. I'm dissociated completely. And I also wonder if I've been like this forever. I've always felt there's something very off about me. And like I don't fit in at all. I felt tremendous comfort when Osho said that he's always been a misfit. I said, maybe that's what it is. But I'm not sure. For me, it more felt like I was hiding something. Hiding my true feelings. Telling Din Venom's ex-pig I love her. Felt like I had to hide it. Or wanting to have sex with her, I had to hide it. Or getting a job, I want them to hire me. I have to hide it. I have to pretend like I don't care if I get this job. Like I'm hiding the fact that I want to be loved. I don't want to be hurt. I'm not sure that's what it means to be a misfit. Anyway, I'm going to sleep. Good night.